Join me as I dig deep to uncover if my constant exhaustion is hiding a serious health issue. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to talk about something that I think a lot of us can relate to: exhaustion. That feeling of being constantly drained, both physically and mentally, and not being able to shake it off no matter how much rest we get. But here's the thing. Exhaustion is not just a normal part of life. It can be a sign of something much more serious. In fact, exhaustion is often one of the first symptoms of an underlying health issue. And yet, it's something that we so often brush off as just being tired or stressed. But what if it's more than that? What if our exhaustion is hiding a serious health issue that needs to be addressed? That's what we're going to explore today. So, let's dive in. How many of us have pushed through fatigue, thinking that it's just a normal part of life? We've all been there, right? We're tired, we're stressed, but we keep going because we have to. But what if that fatigue is not just a normal part of life? What if it's a sign that something is wrong? We've all heard the phrase, listen to your body. But when it comes to exhaustion, we often don't listen. We push through, thinking that we're just being lazy or that we need to toughen up. But ignoring our exhaustion can have serious consequences. It can lead to a downward spiral of health issues that can be difficult to recover from. So, why do we ignore our exhaustion? Is it because we're too proud to admit that we need help? Is it because we're afraid of what we might find out if we go to the doctor? Whatever the reason, it's time to stop ignoring our exhaustion and start taking it seriously. Exhaustion is not just a physical issue, it's also a mental one. When we're constantly tired, we're not just affecting our bodies, we're also affecting our minds. We're more irritable, we're less focused, and we're more prone to anxiety and depression. And yet, we often don't take it seriously. We just assume that it's part of life. But it's not part of life. It's a sign that something is wrong, and it's time to start taking it seriously. So, what are some of the potential health issues that could be hiding behind our exhaustion? Well, there are plenty. Let's start with the obvious ones: sleep disorders. Sleep apnea, insomnia, restless leg syndrome. These are all potential causes of exhaustion. And yet, they're often overlooked. We just assume that we're not getting enough sleep or that we're sleeping poorly. But what if it's more than that? What if our sleep disorder is a sign of something more serious? Mental health conditions are another potential cause of exhaustion. Depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, these are all conditions that can cause exhaustion. And yet, we often don't take them seriously. We just assume that we're stressed or overwhelmed. But what if it's more than that? What if our exhaustion is a sign of an underlying mental health issue? Chronic illnesses are another potential cause of exhaustion. Diabetes, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome. These are all conditions that can cause exhaustion. And yet, we often don't take them seriously. We just assume that we're tired or overwhelmed. But what if it's more than that? What if our exhaustion is a sign of an underlying chronic illness? Let's take a look at some examples. I know someone who was diagnosed with diabetes and thought they were just tired all the time. It wasn't until they went to the doctor that they found out they had diabetes. Another person I know was diagnosed with fibromyalgia and thought they were just stressed out. It wasn't until they went to the doctor that they found out they had fibromyalgia. These are just a few examples, but there are plenty of other health issues that could be hiding behind our exhaustion. Adrenal insufficiency, thyroid disorders, autoimmune disorders, the list goes on and on. So, what can we do about it? One thing we can do is start taking our exhaustion seriously. Instead of pushing through, let's take a step back and listen to our bodies. Let's go to the doctor and get checked out. Let's start taking our health seriously. I want to share a personal story with you. I was exhausted all the time, and I just thought it was part of life. I thought I was just stressed out or overwhelmed. But it wasn't until I went to the doctor that I found out I had sleep apnea. It was a wake-up call, literally. I realized that my exhaustion was not just a normal part of life, it was a sign of something more serious. If I had ignored my exhaustion, I could have ended up with some serious health issues. But because I took it seriously and went to the doctor, I was able to get treatment and start feeling better. It was a huge relief, and it made me realize just how important it is to take our exhaustion seriously. So, let's make a pact to ourselves to start taking our exhaustion seriously. Let's not ignore it. Let's not brush it off as just being tired. Let's take it seriously and start seeking answers. Our health is worth it. So, to summarize, exhaustion is not just a normal part of life, it's a sign of something more serious. It's time to start taking it seriously and start seeking answers. Don't ignore your exhaustion. Take it seriously and start taking care of yourself. Thanks for watching, and if you have any experiences with exhaustion, please share them in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about health awareness, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.